Hey there, I'm Boone Christensen, and welcome to 5 Minutes of Therapy. And today we're going to talk about what to do when you are seeking a repair from someone. The last video we made was about when someone is seeking a repair from you. Today we're going to talk about how you can express your feelings of hurt in a way that is more likely to get a sympathetic response. So the goal of making repairs is to allow somebody to show that they care about you. To set the emotional record straight, as I like to say. And we can do this anytime that somebody has hurt us on purpose, anytime that we have gotten hurt accidentally, or even when somebody's doing something that hurts us that they can't change or maybe that they don't have control over. It is okay to express these feelings and receive validation, even if there's not something that we can change. And I'll give some examples of these at the end of this video. The goal is not to blame someone or to make somebody feel guilt or shame. Those things do not evoke sympathetic responses. It is not to criticize or accuse somebody of wrongdoing. It is not to get them to admit that they did something wrong or that you did something right. It is not to determine whose perspective is more accurate. And that's not to say that, determining facts and setting the historical record straight isn't appropriate always. It is that the relationship has to come first. Set the emotional record straight before we go about debating what actually happened or what was said or not said. And overall, what we're trying to do is express the most truth. And the most objective thing that we can say is how we feel about something and how we remember it. Okay? But we cannot determine what actually happened. Okay, unless you caught it on camera, but even then, arguing about details would not set the emotional record straight. So, let's look at a few examples. When somebody hurts you on purpose, a good way to approach this might be to, set the stage for the conversation. I would like to talk to you about something that really hurt me. Would that be okay? Are you in a place to have this conversation? And if the person allows it, then you can say, yesterday, during our fight, and you called me stupid or lazy or inconsiderate, whatever deliberately mean word was used, I felt really hurt. And saying it this way isn't accusing the person of being bad. It's just saying, this is what I remember, and this is how I felt about it. It's much more likely to get an apology. What about things that happened on accident? You can set it up in the same way. I'd like to talk about something hard. I'd like to talk about something that hurt me. Are you in a place to receive it? And if they say yes, you say, when you made that joke yesterday in front of your parents, it actually really hurt my feelings. And again, you didn't say that the person did anything wrong by making a joke or accuse them of anything, but you're saying whatever happened has hurt me, and I want to know if you care about that hurt. I don't need you to say, I regret telling the joke. This is much more likely to get a sympathetic response. And then one of the ones that people have the most difficulty with are expressing feelings about things that might not necessarily change. And maybe that they don't even want to change, but are still hurting. It is still appropriate and healthy to express these kinds of feelings. So imagine your spouse has a different belief than you that is very strong, maybe a political or religious belief, and it hurts you inside that they think this way. It is okay to say, the fact that you believe this actually really hurts me. And the person can still evoke or express sympathy towards that, even if they're not going to change their belief. And they don't have to. We don't want to make anybody change anything about themselves. Or a circumstance like this job that you're having is really driving me nuts. It's really making me upset. It's making me feel resentful. Even if part of me is saying, but I know that we have to keep this job if we're going to stay afloat. It's still okay to express those hurt feelings. And that person can give you validation for those feelings. Again, even if they can't change anything about it. But the funny thing is, if you can receive validation when you express feelings about those things that can't change, It makes it easier to cope with them, which is why this is so healthy. So, basic principles. Express the things that hurt you. Set the stage. Let this person know that you want to talk about something hard. Speak the truth, which is not, what the other person was thinking or feeling, or even necessarily what they did, but it's what you remember and how you felt about it. These are much more likely to get sympathetic responses. Thanks.